Hello, my name is Abbas. I host a show called Has It Aged Well with my co-host Urjita Vani, who is not in the studio with us but is present in spirit. My t-shirt says "Chillin' like a villain." Does this film I'm talking about have a villain? I don't know because I don't know what clip it's going for, but the clip is amazing, I know for sure. The audio episode is out right now on your favorite podcasting platform. The full video episode will be dropping on Thursday. So listen to the audio, then come back for the video and enjoy both of them. But till then, enjoy this little teaser. Thank you. You remember the Teen Mundi wali Bhoot?
Of course, Teen Mundi ki Chudail, of course.
You know what we're talking about?
Too young.
Urjita?
She's too young.
When we were your age, or
Yeah,
even younger.
your age, yeah. We were less jaded. So we believed in things like three-headed witches at our door
Oh, wow.
in Mumbai, and it was great.
In
back
Mumbai?
Yeah, we were all afraid.
Back then, fake news traveled in person, not
Yeah.
through devices. So there was the rumor there's a woman going around ringing people's doorbells, and when you open the door, you see a chudail with inverted feet and
three heads. Basically, she
And-
calls your name, and if you answer, you're dead.
And then every person had a different version of what the three heads are and how
Yeah.
each head is different from the other and all of that. They
And
made fun of this.
Courier guys were just like in pain. Like they were just like 6 दिन से ये parcel ले ही नहीं रहा है. Like मैं कितना चिल्लाया उसका नाम वो आ ही नहीं रहा है. मैं तो सब्जी लेके आया था. अब ये सब्जी भी फेंकनी पड़ेगी.
They did an episode on this on Hum Punch. I don't know. If
Yes,
it's
they
available.
did. They
Oh.
did. They
Yeah,
did. They did an episode on this on Hum Punch.
Was it called Hum Teen?
Hey! Hum 8 technically.
Yeah, it
Because
kind
it's
of.
3
Nice.
more.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say Hum more because there were Ashok Saraf
Did you
also,
just
but
add
let's not.
5 and 3?
I was like,
Did you not trust me? Did you not trust
Hum
me?
Paanch मतलब हर एक की 3 मुंडी तो 5 threes है. I
So
was
you're okay with me
calculating.
coming here and spending an hour talking about a movie from 20 years ago, but I try to tell you that 5 plus 3 is 8 and you double check it. You double check it. We talked about the fact that this movie might have potentially killed people in the theater. We have not fact checked that once. Not once in 1 hour. Nobody died? No.
What are you saying?
It's one of those things, right? See, there we go. Yeah.
Wait, I'll
So
find
yeah,
it on
1,
the board.
nobody died. 2, 5 plus 3 is 8. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Those are my 2 takeaways from Bhoot.
I think the Fardeen Khan plot was very conveniently tied. I think he comes in like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's as
yeah.
Deus Ex as you can get in the
Yeah.
sense that, oh, well, you've not met only the murderer yet.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it would have, in a way, been nice if the murderer was somebody from,
Yeah.
right?
The,
like
the characters we know.
In a great sort of mystery, it's always nice if the person's been under your nose
all
the
along.
whole time or was introduced at some point, right? So
And
that felt
also-
good. But also just deeply satisfying to see Fardeen Khan get dragged across the ceiling and see that he doesn't have the core strength to maintain the levitation. So while his arms and legs are there, he's still sort of bowing forward in like his stomach. It's just again, it's just 2003. It was strange.
What did
time.
Fardeen Khan do to you, Rohan?
What not? Just nothing. Fardeen Khan didn't do anything to me.
Fardeen Khan was the
in fact,
hottest actor of that
Yo,
time.
1 second. I will 100% say this. I have seen pretty much like most Fardeen Khan movies, like because his ascendancy was around the same time that I've seen. Boss, I've seen Love Ke Liye Kuch Bhi Karega in theaters. Okay, so please, all right, don't you dare question my sort of Fardeen Aftab era.
You heard Aslam Bhai in Dolby Surround.
Brother. Even now, I can hear it in my head. Aslam Bhai. Aslam Bhai.
Okay, guys, separate movie.
No,
What
but
you were saying?
so Fardeen Khan, so this I found very interesting that in this movie, okay, everybody is creepy, okay, except for 2 people, Ajay Devgan and Fardeen Khan. Like, and between the 2 of them, जो एक बंदा जो creepy बिल्कुल भी नहीं है, like he's as far from creepy as you would imagine, he's the killer. So that I found really interesting. That sometimes, you know,
So it subverts your expectations in
Yeah.
a way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
But
Right.
I would argue he didn't have enough screen time to establish his character. So even if he had to be creepy, we haven't seen enough of him to make
No, then he's not
Also,
creepy
with the
in
greatest
the-
of respect to Fardeen Khan, how much screen time would you have to give him for
Actually,
us
yeah,
to
now that-
agree that I have established that Fardeen Khan has
Now that
convinced
I
me
think
that he
about
can
it.
be
He just needs
like
to say,
this
महलों में पलने वाले कमीने कुत्ते. That's all he needs to say.
What is that from?
This is from Premagan.
Oh,
Okay.
keep
This is
up.
great
All
movie.
right.
You want to be healthy, wealthy, fit and fine? Exercise.
What is that from?
Premagan!
सूरज वो तो दिन में ढल ही
Okay,
जाएगा.
guys, it's a Bhoot episode. I want to make one last point, and then Urjita, if you want, you can bring something up. For a film that's establishes the rational versus supernatural fight, Rekha being the witch hunter or whatever, and Victor Banerjee being the psychiatrist. Don't you think the rationalists get the raw end of the stick, despite Ram Gopal Varma establishing in the beginning, I don't believe in all this shit?
But isn't that supposed to be the horror requires you to do that, right? Like, how are you ever going to write or make a horror movie if you're like, but science has to? But science winning is why we don't see ghosts on the street.
I would have liked if it was a little open-ended. Like here, clearly you're showing, okay, the man is levitating in mid-air, so you're clearly bringing.
But I mean, that's the whole point of like whether it's, and this is true of whether it's from the X-Files to this thing, right? Like the skeptic has to in the end be proven wrong in this situation. Like in fact, I feel like that would have felt disingenuous if there's like a religious angle or something like that. But here, in the realms of this thing, you have to, like, for example, in a movie like The Conjuring, you just have to accept that poor lady got conjured, right? And it doesn't matter what sort of this thing you talk about, sort of whether it's multiple personality disorder. There's nothing that explains the fact that she spoke in The Exorcist, right? It doesn't matter what happens or how many skeptics or rationalists or whatever. Fact is that this thing spider walked down the staircase and then vomited green pea soup all over people, and that's kind of, there's no mental health disorder that makes you do that. And at some point it's just, I don't think it's just about I feel like going with it in the sense that the skeptic is just another obstacle in the hero's way in this case, essentially. Okay. And I don't think it's sort of like Ram Gopal Varma in any way. In fact, I feel like more of a credit than that at the start he goes, this doesn't reflect my belief in the supernatural. Right? But if I'm going to make a ghost story, at the end of the day, the guy who says it's not a ghost but science explains this has to be wrong.
Got it.
Yeah.
Right?
And also, I feel like the intention also matters. Like, if you compare this movie with with Fook, I don't know if you have seen Fook. So the whole point
seen Fook? No. Seen.
What? Oh, God.
Sorry, a sentence just confused the shit out of me for a second.
Sorry. So Fook में the whole point is that superstition है तो believe करो.
Wow,
तो उसका point ही है कि so there's this woman and her partner, okay, properly religious, okay, and फिर there's this man with his family. I don't remember any of their names, but this man and his family, and they're like कि proper rationalist की superstitions में हम नहीं मानते. And she's like मानना चाहिए क्यों नहीं मानते? And then they do something to his daughter. So and then बाद में they figure out that it was these two people जो ये दोनों को भी पकड़ते हैं using another person who is superstitious. So like you see that's the difference between the two movies.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like they are force feeding the superstition.
Correct, exactly. Versus I don't think that's like you should believe that this is one vengeful ghost. And also just that idea of actually, yes, like it's not common in this world that this happens, right? The movie doesn't establish that this is a thing that happens sort of commonly. It's in fact like for every single one of these people, it's more like sort of, I thought the world was this. But today for the first time, I have realized the world is this, right? It's just that odd, very extreme case where like you brush up against reality itself, and these most rational people in the world will walk away from this experience unable to explain it, is 90% of the fun
Yeah.
of a horror movie, I guess.